Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Chatter After Daily. Today is July 3rd, 2023, and I'm joined by a fantastic panel today. We are here to talk about so many great topics, even though, the impending actor strike and the writer strike means we're going to be short on a lot of news going forward, but I
Right.
think we I think we actually have some strong topics today. First off, let me introduce to everybody. Didge, welcome back, man. How's it going?
Going good. Fresh off a birthday, Enjoyed a long weekend of doing way too much. We got way too late. Now, glad to be home and relaxing.
Awesome. Awesome. Happy belated birthday. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah. Trayvon, welcome back. How's it going? How was your weekend?
Happy to be here. The weekend's been good. Just been catching up on TV shows and binging Digimon. Digimon's the most important. But yeah, so I'm just,
Definitely.
having fun. This is good. I'm happy to be here. We talk about some of these topics. I'm sure you guys will probably teach me about a few of them because I'm not really that versed in some of them. But it's fun to learn.
Got a happy birthday for you, Didge, in the chat.
Aw. There you go.
All the way from Sweden. Hey there, Isaac. How's it going? Ryan, welcome back. I see you have Desert Power as your name, so I know you're hyped for Dune. How's it going, man?
Oh, for sure. But yeah, it's great to be back. I was so happy when Mike, you asked me if I wanted to be a part. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So excited to be here. Excited to talk about some movie news. I've been looking forward to this.
Yep. Last but definitely not least, we have Joel. Thank you for making that clear. It's pronounced Joel.
Yeah, that's why I do
How's
it.
it going?
It works phonetically. I like it. So I don't have to explain it to people. It's not Joel. I fucking hate Joel. Sorry. But yeah,
I mean, it feels like you're from the house of L. You're a Kryptonian over
it
here.
looks good and it works in my favor in terms of pronunciation. So yeah, so I'm glad to be back and clarifying how to pronounce my name the right way.
Happy 4th of July. Yep, it's Independence Day tomorrow. If you're listening to the audio version on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, that'd be today. So happy Independence Day to those who celebrate. So, topic number one. We had a Dune trailer this past week since our last recording. And Trayvon, Joel, I know you guys just watched it right before we went live. So, Trayvon, I want to start with you. I want to get your initial reactions. I know it's been a while since we've seen Dune Part 1, but how did that second trailer for Dune 2 kind of grab you?
I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, I really don't listen. Tell you the truth, I don't know what's going on in this. It just looked cool. I saw him riding some kind of sandworm thing. His eyes are different color now. Listen, there's a lot of things going on. I'm like, this is interesting. It looks like a movie that you see in the theaters. I guess that's the whole point of it. Listen, you guys saw my list of movies. You saw what I called it. I called it Zendaya's desert movie. That's what I called it. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Most of that list was very disrespectful.
That's fair. I wasn't gonna throw him out there like that.
I will.
I didn't do it to be disrespectful. It's just how I can identify it.
Worse.
My favorite name on your list of anticipated movies, though, was Katniss Everdeen prequel.
Yeah,
that's one way to describe it. But yeah,
very literal.
Yeah, but it looks fun. Like you said, it definitely has that cinematic feel where in IMAX, I know it's going to be amazing seeing this movie. Yes. It doesn't give too much away because Dune is a crazy book, if we're being real. You notice that Paul's eyes are blue now in some of the shots, and that's very important. The first movie does hint at that because in a couple of visions they're blue there too. But yeah, Joel, what were your thoughts watching the Dune second trailer? This was actually the second trailer.
Right. I saw the first trailer. Second trailer. It looks great. I mean, I like the first one a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that one in the theater. I think that was around the pandemic 8 times, and
yeah,
came right to think it was on HBO Max.
So it was one of the last ones to be day and date on Max, I think.
Right, and I ended up just staying home and watching it there, and it was long, but it was good, really good. And I kind of wanted to go to actually watch it in theaters, but I never actually did. So I plan on watching this one though, and it looks like it's going to be crazy. And I want to learn more about Dune because it looks interesting. I've heard all about it for years, and I remember as a kid it being on TV and not know what the fuck I was looking at, but it looked interesting, you know.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing it, remaking, and how much inspiration this series has been for other science fiction movies and books, and it's like it's there's a lot to learn, but I'm willing to learn all of it, and very excited to see the sequel to this incredible first movie. I thought it was incredible.
I'm glad they actually hinted at that. Yeah, I think IMAX is hinting at that they're going to do the double feature thing this year.
That's a lot of theater time.
It is. There has to be an intermission in between movies, right?
There's no way you don't.
Yeah, but I'm glad you
give me one. So I doubt we're gonna get one for Dune.
Oh boy, that would be brutal. Yeah. I'm glad you pointed out though, Joel, that the influence it had on sci-fi and science fiction since the books have come out by Frank Herbert, because I'm always interested to see people's reaction to Dune, having never seen it before or been familiar with it, because there's a lot of things in this franchise that you may recognize from Star Wars or Harry Potter or, you know, some of these other works in a similar genre that all stem from Dune. Like Dune is the source of a lot of that. So
okay.
So it'll be interesting because, like, I know a couple of friends of mine watched the first one and they were just like, yeah, it just feels like another sci-fi movie. I'm like, no, it's technically the first sci-fi story. Everything else is inspired by Dune. So it's always interesting to see those reactions.
It's fair.
Star Wars, you can definitely see it.
It's a granddaddy.
For sure. Didge, how you feeling?
I'm really excited for it. I've seen almost all of the Dune properties. Like I saw the 2000 miniseries. I saw the 1984 film. I saw this one. My dad loves Dune, so I watch a lot of this stuff with him. So I'm definitely gonna go see this. And at the time when the first one came out, I was really glad that it wasn't in theaters, because sometimes I just be like, man, I don't really want to sit in the theaters for 2.5 hours. But after watching that one, and especially seeing the trailers for this one, I do kind of feel like I missed out on not seeing it on like the big screen. So to Joel's point, I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm in theaters to see this one. I'll probably sit down for that double feature just because I do feel like I missed something not seeing it on the large screen. But just in terms of talking about this trailer, for as good as the first one was, this one seems a lot more epic. And I think that's the thing that sort of hit me the most, was like, the first one was good. I think some of my enjoyment was just off of seeing it before, and like the 1984 one, I know that one was kind of hit or miss I feel like for a lot of people. I didn't really enjoy the 2000 miniseries that much. So like for the first one, seeing that one had gotten right, I was really happy about that one. And I think this one, from what we've seen so far, just looks like it's going to be so much better in every way. Yeah. I don't know what the runtime is, but if you don't got to go more than that 2.5 hour runtime again. You can stick around there.
Yeah, I think the reason that first film, the original Dune film, not the Dune Part 1 from like 2021, that original film tried to cram the entire book into one film, and that just made it very hit and miss. Whereas Denis Villeneuve took the book, split it into 2 parts, basically cut it at the halfway point. And so, yeah, this next one is way grander in scale, more action-packed, because it's essentially just the third act of what the book was anyway. So a lot more action, a lot more epic moments in Dune Part 2, and this trailer, I think, kind of reflects that. But I saved you for last, Ryan, because you're the one here with Desert Power as your screen name today. So I wanted to give you the floor. What are your thoughts on this second trailer for Dune Part 2?
I mean, the trailer, it looks phenomenal. I mean, some of the shots in this trailer, I was just sitting there like, you could hang that as like a painting in the Louvre and no one would question it. It just looks stellar. It just you brought it up, Mike. Denis Villeneuve really did the right thing of just like splitting the book in two, because the thing about the David Lynch Dune, it is a lot. It is a lot, and he tried to do it all in one go, and for the most part, it didn't work. And I defend that movie, but I understand a lot of it didn't work. I'm glad Denis Villeneuve went the route that he did. Seeing some of just the like smaller stuff, like seeing Austin Butler, I did not recognize him for a second. I had to look him up and be like, "That's Elvis? There's no way." And sure enough, he was. And seeing Christopher Walken in there too, I'm just like, this is gonna be this is just gonna be the craziest movie ever. And I'm here for all of it. So yeah, I have no complaints. The trailer looks awesome. It's my most anticipated movie of the year. It's tied with Oppenheimer. Like, yeah, I don't think I can say more about it.
Mike, you are muted.
Sorry. It looks great. I'm interested to see what it does, like box office wise, because the first one actually did really well for the time it came out. It's just been a really weird summer. So I wonder, like, by the time we get to Dune, how successful will this heavy sci-fi epic be? Because it's not your typical blockbuster, right? It's a lot deeper, it's a lot heavier, it's a lot more dense and kind of hard to understand. It takes a couple of rewatches to kind of get what's going on. So I wonder how it's going to fare, because just the other day, Villeneuve said that he wanted to make this a trilogy and adapt the next book, Dune Messiah, into the final chapter of his trilogy. So are you guys excited for that? Dune Messiah is kind of weird. I'm just going to say that book's kind of weird.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say it might be a Godfather 3 situation where it's like Godfather 1 and 2 are epic, and then you got part 3 with Sofia Coppola and her acting. Thank God she can direct. That's all I will say. But I'm apprehensive about that, but that's like in the future. We got Dune Part 2 right now, and that looks outstanding.
Well said. Well said. Speaking of trilogies and, future segments, we've got The Last of Us Part 3. That's apparently a thing. Didge, you want to talk to us about that? Like, what's going on with Naughty Dog and TLU 3?
Yeah, so obviously after The Last of Us 2 and then the success of the show, the question has been time and time again, will there be a Last of Us 3? I think everybody's sort of on the assumption that there will be. To my knowledge, I haven't heard any official confirmation. I think we're if I'm not mistaken, I think we're sort of still just like sort of waiting for that confirmation.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is some different story details have come out. Obviously not much, because there's not even a word on if it's going to be a PS5 game or a PS6 game. If we're talking things like the Elder Scrolls being 5+ years out, they may be already thinking about their next console.
Don't say that.
And don't worry, everybody, there's no spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2 or Season 2 of the HBO show.
Didn't the PS5 just come out like last year and people still haven't gotten it? Like, what are they talking about the 6 for? I'm not really
2 years, right?
I'm not really a gamer, y'all, so please forgive my ignorance if I missed something.
No, that's fair. So with games, the console life cycle realistically is about 6 to 8 years. That's sort of been the lay of the land. And PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X officially came out 2021.
They came out in 2020, right? Like end of 2020?
I thought it was 2021. I mean, okay, even worse. So if it is 2020,
yeah,
they're already starting to think about their next consoles, because you're figuring it'll take at least 3 or 4 years to actually go through all the research and development to coming out. So that's why some of these games where they're thinking that it's going to be far out, they're starting to talk about the next system with it as well. So it's a lot of, you don't really need to be talking about it, but that's just the nature of the business. But regarding this game, like I said, there's not a ton out about the story details, obviously, because it's all a work in progress. But what we do know is that it should be revolving around a group of scavengers. They're surviving on the outskirts of the city. that's post-apocalyptic and they're cramped into a Victorian house. So this one kind of sounds like it would be a lot more sort of, I guess, survival than story driven. Like I got more vibes of you're gonna be sort of doing a lot more fighting for resources and type of stuff, because you're not really inside of a safe zone or anything. And obviously this is just going off the 3 sentences that we got. More so, I was just curious if you guys were interested in that Last of Us Part 3.
I'll go first, I guess. Yes, of course. I'm never gonna say no to more in the Last of Us universe. Last of Us, this multiplayer game that they're apparently working on. That's the biggest question mark for me, because like Naughty Dog has never done anything multiplayer outside of like that one mode in the first Last of Us game on PS3. But another standalone or another single player Last of Us game, especially in a different setting. Especially if it leans into that horror elements, right, of survival,
right,
and everything. I think that's very intriguing. I wonder, because there are some character descriptions, and they don't seem familiar to me. So, like, are we following a completely new cast of characters? So I think that's fascinating. This has to happen. I am not surprised at all if Naughty Dog is going to make a Last of Us 3. I would not be surprised if it is a launch title for the PlayStation 6 in 4 years, because of how long. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. We're already halfway through the PS5's lifespan.
There was like a 2-year delay on so many of them.
There was.
But you got to think they're already starting their Xbox is already hitting their mid refresh of their Series S. The Series X Pro or whatever they're going to call it, they're going to come out very soon. Nintendo's hopefully, fingers crossed.
That you can talk about Nintendo and that.
Yeah, Nintendo need to do something. Everybody else need to chill out.
So I mean, I think it's coming. To your point, Mike, I also really would be here for it. The Last of Us games are so much fun. Not gonna lie, I thought the fact that there was news coming out about this, even if it is rumored, kind of meant that multiplayer game is out of here. But we'll see. I might be wrong.
I mean, that game is probably never coming out regardless, because didn't they like shrink the team and like only like a dozen people are working on it now? That's never coming out.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know, Joel. What about you?
I'm a big fan of The Last of Us. Sounds interesting. I'm 100% down for whatever they bring us in the same universe, because the first 2 are amazing. So even if it's kind of its own thing, I'd still love it to somehow connect to the old games in some capacity, whether it's through a character or two. And not right away. We could introduce a whole new gang. Like you said, living in this mansion was kind of like almost reverse Resident Evil. Started the mansion in the 3rd game instead of the 1st game. I also got like what's it called? Red Dead vibes with the whole living in this big ass house together with your gang.
Yes,
that's kind of similar.
I didn't think about that.
But I'm like, that's interesting. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with it, and like you said, it's probably less safe because it's not a safe zone where you can just walk freely.
Right.
So that is interesting, and considering how well those games are made, I'm down for pretty much whatever. And the way the last 2 games have went, I could see us going through the eyes of new characters, maybe more than one.
That's fair. Ryan, you said you are not a gamer, right? So, have you played any of the Last of Us games?
I played about a quarter of the original. I admire the look of it. I've seen the rest on like long form video game like commentary, like, so I know what's going on. Right. But like I got through a quarter of it, and it was like the 5th or 6th time I stepped on a stick and 75 clickers just jumped on top of me. It was like, I'm gonna walk into the sea. I live about 20 minutes away from the ocean, so I can do it.
I definitely get that. No, there's so many parts of that game that are just like, oh, this is frustrating.
However, I do like the idea, if there is like more room to tell in this story, because if the Last of Us TV series showed anything, is that they can do more stories in this universe. So I'm for it.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is just you got to be able to tell a good story. That's really all I care about. Trayvon, what about you? We didn't give Trayvon his. You disappeared for a second, so I was gonna give you your just due.
Okay, so
that's why I wanted you.
Nobody attacked me about this game.
This is a safe space. It's a safe space. You're good.
We'll see what your comments.
Judgment-free zone.
We'll see what your comments.
We'll wait till after the comment.
I'll say I'm very happy for you guys. I'm happy you guys love it. I'm happy you guys want more of it. I have the game downloaded. I'll never play it, to be honest. I try. I look at it. I was like,
tried to look at it.
I was like, no, I can't play this. I just after watching the show, I was like, I'm good. I watched the show.
Did you like the show?
No,
it was cool.
I remember our reviews.
It was okay. It was cool. I'm so happy for all you Last of Us fans. I'm just stay there. Okay, I'm happy for you guys. That's it. That's all I got.
That's how you let off every week of the review. I'm so happy for you.
Trevin's kind of like saying, he's kind of like saying, "Oh, bless your heart," when in reality it's like the opposite.
Yes, that's 100% it. It's pure chaos. That's what it is.
Okay, well,
when I watch horror stuff, I'm always screaming at the screen like, "Why would you do that? Stupid! Why would you do that? Why would you make that noise? Why would you do this?" That's me when I watch this type of stuff. So I can never take it as seriously. I like what
it's different.
Yeah,
control their
destiny. You.
Yeah.
Did you just hear what Ryan just said? No, I'm not dealing with that. Like,
that's fair.
No.
The games are way more intense than what the show was. Like the hordes of clickers coming at you in the games, it's a completely different experience. So I get it.
Because you're ugly too.
Oh yeah.
In the case you're from the show, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to see that on the screen. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good.
You gotta do it on your projector.
So, definitely not.
Bring it into the house.
No.
That would be incredible.
Right?
Well, we be
terrifying but incredible.
Right.
Oh man. So next up, topic number 3, we're gonna be talking Chronicles of Narnia. Apparently, Greta Gerwig is just gonna casually go from Little Women to Barbie to the Chronicles of Narnia over at Netflix. That's the most interesting transition ever. According to her agent, she is kind of like, for lack of a better term, over the indie scene, even though she's an indie darling, and she wants to start doing more bigger blockbuster stuff. And I guess Barbie's just the start of it, and then Narnia is going to be the next step. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the Chronicles of Narnia?
So the ones that we got from Disney in the mid 2000s into the 2010s, the first one is very close to my heart. I grew up I read the book in middle school, so it has a very special place to me. I think the first movie is very good. The sequels are kind of a dip in quality, but I got a soft spot for them. I need to see a trailer first, because Greta Gerwig is very talented, and the Barbie movie looks certainly interesting. So I'm holding out hope until I see that, but I need more information. I think it's certainly interesting. I'm not entirely it seems like a very weird flex, but you know what? I am keeping my mind open, because Chronicles of Narnia is a story that has a lot of lore, kind of like Dune. There's a lot of lore, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I need to see footage, I need to see something more than just an announcement. But I'm keeping an open mind. Mike, you're muted again.
Every time. I'm clicking so many things. I'm trying not to interrupt you guys. That's my excuse. But I think she's talented enough, in my opinion. She can do whatever she wants. Like Little Women is one of my favorite movies of the last decade. And Barbie looks amazing. Like, it looks fun. So that's all I can really want from a Barbie movie. So I think we've never seen her direct action, and there's a big battle at the end of Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, which is where I assume they're going to start. So it'll be interesting to see how she kind of directs that. I'm just going to say it. James Gunn, I know you're watching. Get her to direct Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That's all I got to say. We're done.
I like it.
It's a great choice.
Yeah, I think she'd be able to knock that story out of the park. Joel, though, what are your thoughts on Narnia?
I only know the first movie. I didn't grow up reading the books or anything. And I enjoyed that first movie. I didn't watch the other ones, but I did like the first one.
Yeah.
And if they could give me a probably better version of what they started out with, I'm down, because that was interesting. I was very interested in where they were going. I don't know exactly where it's supposed to go or how it's all meant to go, but I was down when I saw the giant talking lion. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I started there. I was like, let's go. It was interesting, very weird, and it's one of those things where it's the concept is very interesting, and there's a lot of cool looking characters, and you give me a good story with that, you can make a lot of people happy. So I'm down for whatever. And she's a great director, so why not?
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing that surprised me wasn't that she was getting the thing to, do more blockbuster stuff. It was that they're rebooting Narnia. I didn't know that was a thing, that was coming back. I don't know if I missed that or if this was the news to us all.
So then, Netflix got the rights to Narnia in 2018, right. And then a pandemic happened.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So her being attached is news, but them developing Narnia isn't necessarily news.
See, I fully expected that she would do more stuff, more bigger, and I guess more blockbuster stuff, because, like we've all said, she's a really great director. Her fans are going to be really upset, by the way. They were already mad when she did Barbie. When the news for Barbie dropped, her loyal fans, I guess you want to call them, the ones who wanted her to stay indie for the rest of her life, they were already a little upset. So I can only imagine what this news is doing to them. And I feel for them.
So they aren't loyal.
That's fair. That's a
he ain't wrong.
Honestly, but I'm happy for her. I too enjoyed the Narnias that we got already, but I'm not deep in the lore enough that I could say it wasn't, or it was super close to the books. So maybe I should read those first and I have a better judgment. But I'm assuming that with a director of her caliber, they'll only be a step up from those. So I'm happy. I'll be watching.
Same. Trevon.
I'm surprised I didn't list things that should be rebooted or will be rebooted. This never dawned on me. I was like,
yeah,
of course, do this. When I saw this news, I was like, oh, well, yeah, duh.
Makes
not
more
surprised.
sense than Harry Potter.
They're doing everything else. They're doing every other property that was done before. They are slowly but surely remaking everything. So I'm like, why not this? Yeah, I remember the first movie. I thought it was really cool. The concept. I don't remember the other ones that much. I feel like maybe I might revisit and go back to them. They watched them all. Yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm excited to see the Barbie movie, for the movie, but other things as well. But yeah, so I'm just excited to see everything about it. Happy for her, and that's really it. Netflix is spending money. It's interesting. It's very fascinating. A lot of properties, a lot of IPs.
So many IPs. They just got Insecure from Max, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
They have One Piece, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and now Chronicles of Narnia. They're investing hard in the fantasy genre specifically. I think is interesting.
I appreciate that.
Same. Geek Vibes Nation comes in. Last one came out when we were 10. LOL, it's time.
What year did it come out?
I was 8, so I guess same ballpark.
When was the last Narnia? Hold on.
Well,
Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out in 2005. That's what I was. That's what I was.
That's one I remember. That's the only one I remember.
And then
I too was 8.
Prince Caspian came out in 2008, and Dawn Treader came out in 2010. So
5.
It has been.
That was that came out. Jesus.
You said 2010?
I was graduating high school when that came out.
I was in college.
I was too. A year before the final year. So yeah.
Just 13.
Wow.
Well, I feel old now.
Me too.
Moving on.
Yes, there were 3.
There were 3.
Yes, there were 3.
Unfortunately, Prince Caspian's okay. Voyage of the Dawn Treader is not good.
Google how many Narnia books there are. You will be surprised at the number.
I'm already.
Oh, so that's why they got the IP. I understand.
Yeah, like there's like 7 books, right?
Okay. Or
Yeah.
Netflix gonna make every single one of them too.
7?
If they can.
Yeah.
7, yes.
That's why her being attached for the first 2, I think, are interesting because she's definitely gonna do Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then Prince Caspian, I assume, and then they will she hand it off to another director because those do follow different characters as the story kind of goes along.
Sure.
So
yeah, the
professor
professor
on them.
The professor that the Pevensey children go to, he has his own backstory that's like epic and long. So yeah, there's lore. There's lore on top of lore.
Wow. Which makes sense. I mean, it is his freaking magic wardrobe that starts the whole thing.
Yeah,
never really thought about that, but like, yeah.
The sitting room. This is the smoking room. That's my room with the cabinet that takes you to the far off land with the evil queens and the talking lions. This is the drawing room upstairs.
Mix of movies and shows. And yeah, I guess I could see them doing that. Limited series for a couple of them.
Is it doing movies and shows?
No, I think they're just saying.
Yeah,
that's how they should do it. No, give me all movies. Give me all movies.
Look,
it's Netflix. It won't matter. Like if it's a show, they'll all just drop anyway.
Listen, Netflix. All I want to know is what you doing, Power Rangers. Get started, okay?
Hey, we talking Narnia.
Hey, look,
wait till the Power Rangers
we're talking about Netflix, and when I hear Netflix, I think Power Rangers. That's all I think about right now.
I mean, like the only one.
I will look, and I'll be there.
We got that Power Rangers movie. We got that Power Rangers movie in 2017 that I thought was pretty good. So, do that again.
Just enjoyed that one too.
Made me
Naomi Scott and Becky G in a movie, and I'm happy.
Be better. I'm expecting a lot from Netflix.
Are you?
But I'm expecting them to put a little effort and maybe not as Hollywood as that movie was. You know what I mean?
All right.
I don't know if that makes sense. No, something like more throwback to the old show. I don't know, something like an updated version of what we got already, or what we're used to. I'm sorry.
I need somewhere in between the move, like from the 1990s, and in between that crazy one we got on Netflix, that unauthorized one. I need somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. I need that.
I'll take that.
That's what I need. So yeah, not Power Rangers with guns, but a little bit less.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it was. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't care.
The YouTube one. That was actually really good. That was really
if
good.
you enjoy Power Rangers, like and subscribe. I guess this is the Power Rangers podcast.
Man, just 2 minutes.
I've got some catching up to do.
You ain't alone.
I stopped after SPD, so.
I don't even know what you just said, did. So that's how far back I am.
I was
Space Patrol Delta.
Yeah, they were cops now, and I'm like, I don't want to watch cops Power Rangers. I want Power Rangers to be just fighters.
We're cops.
Power Rangers with guns.
That's what it was. Honestly,
that's too much. See, that's entirely too much.
Too much.
They lost me when they were all cars and shit. I'm like, I'm good. Giant cars.
I made it through that. It was when they were cops because they were doing regular cop stuff. So it's like I don't need to see,
just arresting people on the street.
I don't need to watch the cop show with Power Rangers involved. Like I'm okay. I can watch cops if I need to do that.
There was only one season.
Yes,
only a full season.
That's one of people's favorites now.
Listen. I know. It's crazy.
Not mine,
Because
but...
I was also a lot younger, and I'm like, I don't want to watch Cops and Power Rangers. Those are two different things.
Yeah,
That sounds ridiculous.
Separate genre.
Other than the one where they were like in the jungle?
Yes.
Like,
Those were the cool ones.
Jungle
right?
Fury.
I enjoyed those ones.
All right. So let's talk about the mess that is San Diego Comic-Con. Like I just don't know. I'm like trying to figure out what's going to be in Hall H because like everybody's pulling out. Like the point of it, that's like the main reason people go is Hall H. And now you got the two biggest things, Marvel and now DC. James Gunn said it confirmed they're not going. I'm like, well, what's happening? Like E3, E3 just shuttered. Like, is this gonna hurt San Diego Comic-Con? Like, I wonder. I was like, it's too late for people to like back out now. Like I said, at the end of this month, and I feel like it's almost like messed up that they're announcing it this late too. To me,
so to be fair, he didn't announce it. Somebody just happened to ask him on an Instagram post.
It's not just him; it's like everybody.
But if you knew though, like I mean, people, people book flights. People like like that's crazy.
If you're paying attention, you got to know that writer strike was going to screw shit up too.
At this rate, this show might as well be in Hall H. If no one's taking it, we might.
Look, I will get Steve. Like, hey, can we rent out Hall H? And he will probably just be like, let's go for it. And we just host the thing live from there.
I'll have lots of news. I'll make up news if we need to.
Make up. YTC is looking real good.
I really hope everything's settled by then.
Until they start saying, hey, I'm not going to be there either.
Yeah, so
we don't expect them there though. Like that's not the big.
That's
pull.
The thing, yeah. You never expect it because they do all this shit in San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, again, this to the main point. Half of Hollywood is going to be on strike by the time Comic-Con rolls around.
Well, that's right.
Because, like, think about it. James Gunn is the writer of Superman Legacy.
Right.
He can't do any promotion for it. Corey Sweat and Brosnahan, they're going to be on strike most likely if SAG goes on strike, right? So they can't even be there. So, like, that's I think is why DC won't show up because you can't do Blue Beetle, you can't do Aquaman because those actors won't be able to say anything. Or, like they could probably show a trailer, but again, the water's murky since James Gunn is also a writer. Like, is he technically on strike? I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I have a question. If they're on strike, so that means no promotion for Blue Beetle. Does the movie still come out?
Yeah, because the movie can come out.
No, I'm saying like, would they want to still put it out if there's no promotion?
No, would you want to?
I mean, DC has not exactly been doing stellar this year. A certain movie about a Scarlet Speedster is proof of that. It's the old adage, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, fill in the blanks from there.
Yeah. So that's the hard part because they released The Flash with little to no promotion. On one hand, we can look at it as Ezra Miller couldn't have done a press tour anyway, but Michael Keaton was not on talk shows. He was not doing interviews. Yeah. So that I think hurt The Flash. Think about Michael Keaton is suiting up for the first time in 30 years as Batman. He was not on Fallon or Kimmel. Or that hurt the movie.
I didn't realize
a little
that,
bit.
Yeah.
To be fair, Keaton couldn't because all they were going to ask about was Batgirl.
That's true.
That's true.
And how's it working with Ezra? they were gonna ask him that. They're gonna ask him that.
I don't know if they would even. They might have asked it once or twice for sure.
Somebody would have tried it. Somebody would have tried
the anti-press tour last year, and that's why we're trying to avoid everything this year.
So okay,
Sasha did do a lot of press. For what it's worth,
true.
A lot of hers was pre-recorded too. I will confirm that she recorded a lot of it
not live,
months ahead.
So okay, if they're on strike, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean are they barred from doing stuff, or they can if they want to? If Zolo went on Instagram Live just to promote Blue Beetle, I'm just saying, would he get penalized for that? How does that work?
From the
SAG-AFTRA or whatever.
Probably would, because that's probably considered a strike busting act. You're still promoting and working, because that's always in their contract. So
yeah, that would not go over well. They would probably get kicked out of SAG for that.
Okay.
So Like it's not illegal. They won't get arrested for it, but they will lose a lot of benefits for breaching that strike.
Man.
And so that's what's real. Like, to answer the question you raised, Trayvon, I don't think this is the end of Comic-Con. Like James Gunn said, he plans to be there next year because by that time something's going to be worked out. He'll also have more stuff to show. He can actually show footage and trailers of the stuff that they were actually working on, assuming that they can start filming.
If the strike ends.
Right.
Fandom again.
If it ends before next year. Like,
true.
So they can actually start things. So
the question I have is who's actually going to be there besides Crunchyroll, because they're not affiliated with any of this. Like, who's going to be there?
And us.
True.
Because let's see, Netflix is out. HBO, obviously. If DC done, I'm assuming all of Warner's out.
It'll become the Anime Expo.
DC Comics is still in.
DC, and Marvel Comics is still in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means Tom King is there, so I'm going to ask him about Supergirl if I get the chance. I'm asking about this movie. I don't care.
Okay.
Maybe it's going to get back to its namesake and really just be about the comics again.
Probably.
Really?
I can't imagine, even from a Crunchyroll side of things, just from the anime of it. Anime Expo is going on as we speak. I've been sharing news about anime all day, so I can't imagine they're gonna have a crazy amount more to add from Crunchyroll or any of the other anime creators, because they would have already done all of that 2 weeks before, which is during Anime Expo. So I gotta imagine, at least for this year, and maybe it's getting close to that just moving forward in general, that, like I said, it's getting back to its namesake and being strictly on the comics and the creators around that, rather than all of the TV and movie properties. Maybe there'll be some video game stuff, but Summer Games Fest just happened. I doubt that. So it's like, I don't know.
I just think it's so crazy. I was like, I just thought they would at least be there. But I was like, also, then I thought about it, I was like, well, don't really have too much to show, does he?
I mean, he has 2 movies coming out this year, and he just cast a new Superman. I feel like that would have been enough, but I feel like, again, if those actors can't show up, you just gotta let it go, you know?
Right.
Could have been like, here's some still photos. But
yeah.
Well, remember, that's what we were guessing. That's what we were guessing was going to happen last week when we were talking. We assumed that's why he got ahead of it and announced it, so at least he'd be able to use like the screen test and stuff. But I guess we were wrong.
Yeah. I'm old enough to remember in like Comic-Con 2014 when I was watching like YouTube videos about announcements from Comic-Con about how we were getting like a Green Lantern Corps movie and like just all those other things, and it still has yet to come out. So it's hilarious to think about.
Whole new world now.
All that stuff is gone.
That version of it is gone. Yeah.
In the words of Swedish House Mafia, those days are gone, and now they're memories on the wall.
Yes, they are.
Sick burn. But all is not lost. We were talking about anime. We were talking about Crunchyroll. Suicide Squad was at Anime Expo, and apparently it's getting an anime now. Like, what's the deal with that, Joel?
They're doing an anime. They dropped the trailer. They dropped a couple of stills. That's one of them. It looked really good. I forget what was the company again? It's called Suicide Squad
Studios.
So
yes, but it's called Suicide Squad Ice something.
Suicide Squad Isekai.
Isekai, yeah, I could not. I've never heard of that. I'm like Isekai. I'm like, all right, cool. So that.
So we're gonna take a second. Didge, can you explain to the commoners what an Isekai is?
Yeah, so Isekai, it's a genre anime where you essentially get pulled into another world. Whether you died to get into that new world, whether you are just reincarnated into the new world, or there have been some animes where like you're in a coma and you wake up in a new world. The gist of it is you leave real world and you wake up in this fantasy world. And Isekai animes are some of my favorite anime, so I'm really curious how they're gonna do this. Like,
was Batman Ninja an Isekai one? Because that sounded similar.
No, I think that was just literally Batman in Japan. Like, an Isekai would be like, it feels like you, Joel, Mike, you are muted.
No, I was just saying you're transported to a new world.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
But
the
that's how it
defining.
starts. It starts like in the regular world, and then you're in Japan. I forget how it happened.
So is it like an Elseworld, basically?
So what's different is like with the Batman in Japan, he was still Bruce Wayne. Like both were still Bruce Wayne.
That's very interesting. Play the character.
Like if Joel, if you woke up tomorrow morning and you're in a completely different world, got a whole new identity, and you are now part of this world. Like you can remember the fact that you used to wake up in the real world and everything, but for all intents and purposes, you are in this whole new universe.
Gotcha. All right, I get that. I wonder who's the who's that sucker?
That's what I'm curious about. Is like who's the person who's waking up a part of the Suicide Squad?
That's what I said in our private chat. It's like, can you imagine getting isekai and you wake up as a member of the Suicide Squad? That's the worst. Worst.
That's probably why that's how they sold it. You're like, just think about it.
Yeah. It's only a 48-second teaser. We're showing small clips of it. You know, anime can be a little fickle. It's
the hell?
They might snipe the street.
Dragons and pig people.
So
does Harley get isekai'd? Like
maybe.
Just the Suicide Squad getting moved into another world. That might be the
thing.
That might be it. So that'd be interesting.
What's it looks like now that we're looking at it?
I just whenever I see anything that's like Warner Bros. Related or DC related right now, I just think about James Gunn saying all of it's supposed to be connected. That's all that. So this is the way to say it's separate. Like this is a Elseworld type of thing. I'm saying like that's so we have to work like.
So to be fair, this has kind of been in the works because I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the second thing I heard Witch Studios was doing with DC, but then we found the thing that I had shared to them before, and what we had knew before was that DC characters are going to show up in anime. Right. That was all we had knew before. So now we're starting to sort of get the details. So I'm wondering if this was like just something that had been in the works. Obviously, if it proves to be very popular, you're just getting yourself into a new market. So that's that's realistically probably their gist of it. But it looks a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited for this.
Is there a release date?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
That sucks.
For those who don't know, Wit Studios, they're the ones behind the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan and Spy Families. I think their latest anime that they're currently working on.
I've heard that's good. I'll check it out.
It's great. It's a fantastic show. Any other thoughts on Suicide Squad Isekai?
Looks fun. I can't wait. That's all I really can add to. I want to know which members of the Suicide Squad aside from Harley, and obviously we see Joker.
I mean that's we don't know a lot, so
yeah, I want to know more.
We'll
Tell me more
information.
All right. That moves us to our last topic. Apparently, Mattel wants to make more movies based on their toys.
Oh.
I didn't know they had more toys, to be honest.
That's a fair reaction.
News to me.
That's a fair response. It was really just an excuse to throw 3 pictures of Margot Robbie as 3 different Barbies on screen. Hot Wheels.
Oh, okay.
We only care if we get a crossover with Transformers. That's really
no. That's what G.I. Joe is doing, though.
Exactly.
That is also true.
That's fair.
Which is awesome.
What else do we got?
And also, if we get a Hot Wheels movie, then we have to pair it with the Gran Turismo movie we're getting later this year, and the Need for Speed movie we got a few years ago, and we now have the toy/video game car-based trilogy.
You can't do it without family, so you got to add the fast.
I was waiting for somehow.
We do not talk about that series in this house.
Why not? Hold on. Wait a minute now.
Fast X was trash.
Let's go.
Oh, no. Oh, absolutely not.
As somebody who's never watched this franchise, if you put Toretto with Bumblebee, I'm there day one. But outside of that, yeah, I'm fine.
I love those movies. We're not doing that. No, they are superhero movies at this point. I love it.
That's the problem.
I love it.
Polly Pocket, by the way, guys.
That last one was a little ridiculous.
They went from stealing DVD players
They've been
to
ridiculous
avoiding
the last 5.
exploding dams.
The last
Like,
5 have
what
been
kind of
outrageous.
genjutsu are we living in right now? Where
Oh
that
God, we're in the infinite Tsukuyomi. He did.
Listen,
They got superpowers now.
It's fine. Like once they jumped the
Yeah,
car from one building to the other, I was like, "Look, you have to accept this. This is it. This is where we at."
They swung on a vine or
He sure did. He sure did.
He drove down the dam this time.
He sure did.
With his kid in the car.
Survived a super explosion. Yeah. That's right.
We might get a live action He-Man out of this.
Oh yeah, He-Man started out as toys, didn't he?
Yeah, that's
When they're supposed to do that
anyway.
anyway?
Yeah, Netflix is supposed to be doing He-Man.
Wait, what happened to that Kevin Smith He-Man? Like I never watched that.
That's still coming.
That was good.
There's a sequel to that coming.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good.
Yeah. There's a second season coming.
There's another one?
For the Kevin Smith one? Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
Although people were kind of pissed off how it started.
That's why.
So
yeah.
Polly Pocket. I'm naming all these Mattel toys, guys.
Name them off because I don't know
Mighty
what
Max
they actually
considered the same thing. Is that Mattel? No.
So we got Hot Wheels,
Sure.
Matchbox. I don't know what Matchbox is.
It's like Hot Wheels.
Okay, well they own both. Polly Pocket, Tom and His Friends, Master Universe. Obviously, we already said Monster High, Ever After High, and Enchantimals.
Those actually might make.
What's the last one?
Enchantimals.
Enchantimals.
Yeah, so it's like enchanted animals, I guess. I don't know.
Enchantimals.
They're human animal. It's like Animorphs. Remember Animorphs?
Yeah.
Like a version of that, I guess.
The furries are gonna eat good once they get to that.
I read an article that they have 45 movies in development.
So that's why that was the main reason I was curious about this, because
45.
You don't got 45 toy lines. What are you developing?
Oh, we get a Barbie movie, a Ken movie. We'll get a Barbie too.
I mean, think about it. We have a million different Barbies and Kens in this movie alone. Just give them all a spinoff.
That is true.
That's ridiculous. That's
They do have a different, Issa Rae President Barbie sounds good. I mean, let's go for it.
Joel, you're saying that's ridiculous, but is that not what Kevin Feige's doing right now?
Yeah, but they're all Barbie. That's really the difference. That's my only thing. Like, I don't know.
It's like presenting the MCU. I'm like, oh, the MCU has a good track record. I didn't finish the Mattel Cinematic Universe.
Yo, that was what the article had listed as too, and I was like, that's ridiculous.
They make it like a Toy Story thing where it's all these toys, in the same universe. Like I can live with that, right?
I like what the New Yorker said. After Barbie Mattel's rating its entire toy box. I love that. I love that. That's funny.
Clever wording.
Very, very good job. They were having fun when they wrote that story. I don't know. Like, sure. Let's see how Barbie did. Like, Barbie is currently tracking to be one of the biggest openings of the summer, like rivaling Spider-Verse at the box office, which I think is wild. Yeah. But also, long-range tracking has failed us before because The Flash didn't open anywhere near what it was supposed to.
The Flash supposed to make $1 billion.
I don't know if anybody ever believed that, but okay.
That was some of the rumblings.
Listen, I bet Barbie might make that now. I don't know. Like they got the guise of it's a kid movie, but I don't think it is.
Turtles. I want the Turtles to make all the money. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Ninja Turtles looks amazing.
Yeah, excited.
I don't know. Was there any other stories over the last few days that caught your eyes, guys? Otherwise, that's the last one we have scheduled on the docket here today.
I mentioned that One Piece live action, the anime.
Yes.
The anime voice actors are gonna dub them in Japan, like for the One Piece live action. So you're gonna hear the same actors from the anime voicing them in the live action.
Oh, if
you watch in Japanese, which is
did they not do that cool. They didn't do that for Cowboy Bebop?
They didn't want anything to do with Cowboy Bebop.
I don't know. I don't know if they did or not.
Maybe that's a good sign that they want to do that.
Right.
I remember I always wanted them to do that for Rurouni Kenshin because I grew up listening. I only really watched it in English, so like it was weird. Yeah. Hearing it was always just weird. But no, there was. I don't even think there was a dub. At least I've never seen it dubbed.
I didn't hear anything about it being dubbed either. That's what That's why I was interested in seeing it, but I was like, oh, maybe they always do that.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I might watch One Piece twice now. Just watch one regular and then watching Japanese. Yeah,
that should be really cool though.
Yeah,
I think that's again a sign of confidence. Again, Oda is involved, like the creator of One Piece is involved with this Netflix show anyway, so that gives me a little more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of One Piece Day is going to be the 22nd. They're going to be live streaming all day on like the One Piece YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, they're going to have voice actors, members of the cast from the Netflix show, I think, are going to be there too. And One Piece, the dub, is finally going to be on Crunchyroll.
I heard about that. Good for people that want that. I mean, like, I'm down. I saw like a couple episodes in English, and now it's hard for me to go back. I can't do it. But I'm so far at this point that they're not going to catch up to me anytime soon anyway. So it's like, whatever.
Since we're talking about Netflix, has anybody watched the Do Witcher season yet?
I started. I'm on.
I have not. I heard the wig was bad.
What?
You said what?
You heard the wig was bad.
Whose wig? Whose wig?
Everyone's apparently, and I didn't know more than one person had a wig. That was just
I'm sure a lot of people are.
Well, we know Henry's.
I like that. It looks fun. But I've seen worse. I'll say that.
That's fair.
Nothing will ever be worse than Stephen Amell's island hair and arrow, if we're being honest.
Oh, God.
I've lived with bad wigs. I can do it again.
I've lived through really bad wigs in my time. Good. Yeah,
but
I like the season so far.
That's good. I know this is Cavill's final season, so no spoilers for those who haven't watched it yet. But like, how is it, Trayvon, Joel? Like, have you been enjoying his performance? Is it going to make it suck even more that he's not Geralt anymore?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I was wondering if anybody else had.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's always, even before the season started, it was gonna suck.
Yeah,
that he's gonna be gone. Sucks, it really does. But I've already made peace with it, and it's like I'm willing to give Liam a chance. So I want to see. It's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit. And I wonder if they explain it away or if they just ignore it. Like, oh look, it's back, a different actor.
I was gonna ask, are they planning on explaining it away? I didn't know if they were.
I don't know if they are. I think Henry Cavill said something that he said something about it that's gonna be. Damn it, I don't remember his exact quote. So maybe they have something planned that there's an explanation, but I don't really know for sure.
So do you want to say you watched it? Okay.
Great and sad with a cliffhanger.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, they keep teasing the Wild Hunt. That's what I'm waiting for. That's really all I know. Because I only played Witcher 3, so
I'm curious if they'll even when they'll be able to film Liam's season. if the strike happens,
that's anything at this point. Like, when are we getting this stuff?
Well,
that's not
the strike till 12.
Yeah, so I was gonna just throw that out right quick. We didn't make that an official topic. We probably could have, but yeah. Our last show, we were talking about the strike's going to be on June 30th. And then June 30th came around. And they said, yeah, we're extending our negotiation period. Do you guys think that's a good thing? Like they're willing to continue working through it? Or are they just buying time?
Buying time.
Yeah,
they're not giving them what they really want, I'm sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Or else it'll be done by now.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Fair.
But no, I definitely think that they're buying time. I was reading a tweet. It was like for somebody in the WGA. I don't know if she's a part of SAG-AFTRA as well, but she said that the last time the WGA had struck before this one, they did the same thing. They extended it a couple weeks because the production company sort of seemed like they were coming in good faith, and then it obviously when it boiled down to it, they weren't. So I feel like it's more of the same.
How long did they extend it for?
2 weeks. It's on now. It ends July 12th.
Oh, I thought they're going to extend it to August, so people can still go to San Diego Comic-Con.
That's what makes this suck. I was talking to some folks at work. It's like we got to cover SDCC, but we can't even properly plan because San Diego Comic-Con hasn't released their schedule yet officially because they don't know who's going to be there, and these negotiations end the week of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So Comic-Con's the
end of July, right?
It's
the 19th.
Oh,
19th. It's on a Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. That's so. Yeah, like you said, literally the week of, essentially.
Wow.
What's up, Geekly Kids? Happy to have you here. Yeah, it's scary. I don't know.
It is. You hope for the best. You hope that everybody gets paid what they deserve, but then you also are like, man, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be a dry fall. It's gonna be a rough fall. It's gonna be rough 2024. Like we're gonna feel these effects for a long time because they can't film now, so everything that may have been ready next year won't come out. So we'll see.
Or delays.
I hope that's what we hope for. I'm hoping for delays because last time this happened, we powered through anyway and we ruined Heroes. We don't need a situation like
a couple shows did suffer for that.
Jesse Pinkman almost died. So like,
yeah.
Yes, that was bad. That was brutal. And then I don't need Stranger Things getting ruined in the same way. That's my point, right? Like delay it all. Do not ruin Stranger Things. Do not ruin Cobra Kai. Do not ruin these Marvel movies. Honestly, Marvel having enough time to figure things out is probably a good thing right now. But
damn it! Well, there's extra drama. Damn it.
Yeah, that might be more than San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I was just reading that one.
Yeah, it might be. Honestly, that's crazy. Yeah.
At Fan Expo this weekend, Shamik Moore was there, Sam Raimi, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and the Screencast reunion. The MHA Dubcast, that'd be like. That's a good question. Like, we were talking earlier. I don't know if you were here, Leo, about what presence anime could possibly have, because like they just had Anime Expo, so
I mean,
I don't even know if they'll be there.
They'll probably be there just because I'm sure they were planning already to go to sort of showcase this in a new location. But you're not getting a Hall H type of deal because I don't think they got more to announce. Like I said,
They'll probably just show some more footage.
Right. I've been seeing announcements all day today. Like I'm pretty sure that this is their big thing right now.
Oh, well, hopefully things work out. We know for sure DC and Marvel's not going to be there, and at Comic-Con, that's kind of all that matters to most people. They're still like the comics are still there. They're still going to be there. They're still going to be great. Dawn of DC is great. Marvel's got events happening, but as far as the context of this show and the news cycle and everything we talk about is going to be kind of slim. But if you're going to Comic-Con, it may be a little quieter. So have fun, enjoy the panels, go get some comics.
Mine's gonna be as long.
A short line this year.
There you go.
Leo, the villain of King Dynasties, and need some help, man. I'm just saying that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about anything else. We're not getting into that though on this show, but that's what I was referring to.
That's fair.
Guys, if that's everything, I think that's our show.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this live stream, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. Make sure you follow these wonderful gentlemen on their social medias. They're on the screen. They're also going to be in the description in like 10 seconds. I forgot to paste them.
I changed mine to let you guys know that Reborn as a vending machine is coming this week. It's a crazy, wild isekai. The guy gets reborn as a vending machine.
Does that have any relevance? Does that have any relevance to Suzume? I'm sorry. The only anime I've seen is like all of Ghibli, Suzume, and Cowboy Bebop. Thank you, Mike, for recommending that. It was awesome.
Look. Those are the greatest hits, so you're doing good.
I'm catching up.
Suzume, guy being reborn or turned into a chair is the funniest. It's the funniest subplot of that entire movie. That is a deep movie.
Not even a full chair, like a chair with 3 legs, so we can't walk properly.
It's so much fun. But yeah, being turned into a vending machine is still better than being reincarnated as slime, which is another reason high.
That's fair. It is.
Jesus Christ.
So,
Naruto news, 4 new episodes. We forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that over on the Amateur Otaku, but yeah, this crew hasn't talked about it. So, 4 episodes of Naruto. I know a couple of us may have not seen Naruto or finished Naruto.
Right.
What do we want from that? Like, what can they do?
I was talking to my nephew about it yesterday, and he was so confused. He was like, "But Naruto?" Because at first he thought it was like 4 new episodes of Naruto. And I'm like, "No, they said Naruto." And he's like, "But they've had 2 sequel series to that. What do you mean 4 new episodes?" So he was so confused.
They got 4 extra fillers. Is that what you're telling me?
I have no idea. I don't know what this is going to be, but they're coming out. I think September 3rd. In Japan, so I'm sure Crunchyroll simul stream it.
Yeah, they're gonna have the simul stream. My only question is, are we gonna get a simul dub? I need my Naruto dub. I watched the whole show in dub. Give it to me.
Did you?
I did too.
The whole
Actually,
thing?
no, I watched all the Shippuden and subbed.
Yeah, I watched Naruto and Naruto Shippuden subbed. I'm actually starting Boruto recently in dub just because. Stay awake at this point because, like I told you, when I watch anime, sometimes I get tired reading too much. I just prefer to sleep, man.
You're gonna be falling asleep for other reasons during that board.
I'm just saying, like it's easy to stay awake when I don't have to read all the time.
Read the manga. The manga's at a great spot right now.
So
I'm getting through it.
Like, there's a lot of questions. Is this Naruto or is this Naruto Shippuden? Like, what? Like.
Which one?
At what point in the story is this taking place? Is this just taking place before Boruto? So, like, he doesn't have a son, but he's like 20. That might be cool. We didn't really see that much in that time frame, you know?
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So the main picture that they used was a picture from the original Naruto, like Naruto, not Shippuden.
Oh boy!
So, but when you click on the website, it also looks like that just might have been the first one because they're showing like throughout all the timelines. So I'm back confused.
Because doesn't he go away with this guy for that during that time period?
Yeah, he goes away with Jiraiya for
Jiraiya
at the end of Naruto, but I don't know. Again,
it's more questions. You're like, I don't really know.
Because they also have the Minato manga like one shot coming off. Like maybe it's animating that. There's a lot of stuff that they could be doing. Maybe I don't know. Hopefully they give us some news soon.
Hopefully.
I'm here for more Naruto.
Yeah.
Even more Boruto. And Boruto is 74% filler. But I want people to realize that a lot of that filler is adapting novels from Naruto. So
Really?
like it's not all technically filler. It's just not canon to the story of the Boruto manga, but they're adapting stories throughout light novels of Naruto. Like Kakashi has a whole arc in Boruto that's considered filler, but it is a book that was about Kakashi that they adapted.
Oh, all right. Because once I went back, I started like checking to see which ones are fillers, and I'm like, I already watched some of those. Now I'm on the canon episodes.
Yeah. Those are canon to the story of Boruto, but some of those you're gonna have to find another list. But some of those fillers actually are still adapting actual stories. Geekly Goods in the chat saying maybe Naruto and Sasuke versus Sasuke or Naruto versus Pain. It could be, it could be a mix of both. Where we're doing some filler stuff, we're doing some canon stuff. We never got Sasuke in specific or with specific characters. Like, what if this is just another Team 7 mission? We didn't get a lot of those throughout the regular show.
So I could see that.
I will say for people who say Boruto sucks, read the manga. It takes out a lot. The fillers will make Boruto suck. I get it. The manga actually had a lot of dry parts too, but the manga's had a lot.
To be fair, original Naruto also had a lot of fillers. Just
that is also true.
It sucks. That whole last season's fillers.
Read the manga. That's all I'm saying.
He said I'm cool with that. The manga's I love how Isak hasn't said anything this entire stream. I don't know if you've been lurking or not, but you come back just to say Boruto sucks. Good job, guys. We appreciate you. But we're talking about Naruto coming back. That doesn't suck. Even though,
Yeah, we're not talking Boruto. We're talking Naruto. Naruto is daddy. We're talking about the daddy.
Yeah, and then, like Didge was saying, we've got the 4th Hokage getting his own manga. So where we're going to adapt that. Naruto was like damn near 100 episodes of full filler.
Yeah, the whole ending. You're like, what the fuck?
Like 20 episodes. Let's be honest. It was like 20 episodes for the actual war. They just gave you 2 episodes, like 30 episodes of filler. Here's another 2.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, though.
Guys, in the comments, what do you
rather
want to
laborious.
see from Naruto? Sorry, Ryan, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say it sounds rather laborious.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It-
For sure.
That's why I
An
never recommend you
understatement,
watching
Brian.
it.
It's an understatement. Laborious.
I ain't gonna lie. I recommend you should still watch it. It's
Even the
not like I
fillers.
recommend it. No,
The one thing about the
find it
Naruto
online.
fillers, some of them at least, they're very informative. So you
can
get
find
a
it
lot
online
in-depth
that tells you
knowledge.
What fillers to skip?
I am actually writing a Naruto filler guide for Collider.com. That'll be up in like a month. Check that out. It's gonna be a long time. It's gonna take me forever to work on that, but don't worry.
Gotcha.
Just gonna slide that in a month out of there real quick. I was like, in a month? I was like,
In a look,
wait a
700
minute.
episodes of Naruto, and like 40% of it is filler.
Yeah,
But it'll be
This
right
is-
on time for when
Wow.
this thing comes out. So
that's good. You see if they're filler or not.
they'll be in addition to the list. Guys, again, if you enjoyed this stream, give us a like and subscribe. Thanks to everybody who dropped by in the chat. We love having conversations with you. We love talking all things geeky, nerdy, and even indie, because we brought in Mattel obscure properties and Power Rangers. And like, it's been a fun conversation. It went off the rails a lot, but that's what makes it a fun time.
They're relevant to
Last-
the topics.
I don't know if Power Rangers was, but
We were talking Netflix. Okay, don't do that.
all right.
Sure. I want a full reanimation of the tuning exam, Sasuke Retreat. Oh, so like remaking the greatest hits. Like
Oh, that
might
would be cool.
With
That
new
would be cool.
animation, yeah, that's always fun. Actually,
They did do that new animation. That's where this image is coming from. For the 20th anniversary of Naruto, they reanimated some of the biggest fights. That was cool. So they might just be putting those to good use. Who knows? It might be a clip show. That would suck, but it might be a clip show.
That would really suck. I would be very disappointed.
All right, guys. Until next time. See you all on Wednesday. Take care.